Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about all the signs that your loved ones in heaven are sending you on a regular basis. And we're also going to discuss the little differences that are between the signs of your guardian angel and the signs from your loved ones, and how to perceive them a little bit better. Let's begin. So the signs that your loved ones in heaven are sending you, they feel very emotional, they are very personal, it triggers a memory to them, and they're also there to comfort you. Those signs from your loved one is a little I love you and I'm always here with you. Signs from your guardian angel, they are sometimes similar, but the feeling is different. And you will feel it yourself, so trust your own feelings. When you get signs from your guardian angel, those signs are usually to guide you in a certain direction or to give you extra support or also sometimes to try and lift up your spirit. So they are mostly for assurance and guidance. And the signs from your loved one, and that is what we're talking about today, are there for comfort, for love, for reassurance that they are with you. They are little I love yous. So sign number one is all things natural. It's the natural world. So the butterflies, the dragonflies, the ladybugs, there are even flowers that you can find that are not supposed to bloom in that season, or they suddenly have this amazing color, and that color reminds you of that loved one as well, because it was its favorite color. And the list goes on and on. They are very specific for each individual, and you have a specific relationship with that person, with that soul in the afterlife. So only you know what kind of relationship you have and what kind of signs are meant for you specifically. But for example, for me and my daughter, in the last weeks of her life, we always used to watch dragonflies. And since she has passed, I have had many beautiful, mystical, unusual experiences with dragonflies and the loved ones around us as well. So it was an extra confirmation that they come from my child. And it's also something that I felt at once. And you will feel the same as well. If it's either a bird or a certain butterfly in a specific color, color also matters, or a dragonfly, or even a ladybug. They are all little signs from your loved one. And sometimes you can also encounter things like feathers, for example, just to show you that they are with you, that they love you. And a very interesting one is also smell, because scent is very important. Scents always trigger a memory within us. And sometimes your loved one has a specific smell if they were, for example, smoking, or they were drinking a lot of coffee, or they worked in a bakery, then usually is a certain kind of smell around them. Or think of a strong perfume. So it can happen that you're inside the home and there was no other way for you to suddenly smell this scent. Then know it is your loved one who comes near you and let you smell that scent, so it triggers that memory to let you know that they are actually there with you and that they love you. And we all know that our pets, our dogs, our cats, they have a sixth sense. Like actually us humans do as well, but cats and dogs also have it very strongly. And they can also sense something in the room that is with you. So if you suddenly see that your pet is looking into a corner or is playing with something in the air that you cannot perceive in that moment, then know that it's probably your loved one visiting that just wants to play again with the family pet to just have a little fun. So what you have to look at is that you usually already sense it. You feel it when you see this sign. You suddenly feel it like inside that, hey, this is so familiar. It triggers a memory. It gives me a warm feeling, a happy emotion. Deep inside, you know it is your loved one sending you a message. And the more you are aware of these subtle messages, then the more you will receive them as well. They will start sending you more and more. So watch also for unusual behaviors in these little animals. If a bird is flying near you, like more close than usual, or it is hanging around for a little while, or it even starts to follow you from tree to tree, like jumping around as if it's like walking with you. So there are so many different ways, and usually you will notice it because it is unusual behavior. Every encounter that I have had with smaller or bigger animals or any other sign, they were always unusual, um, and so connecting to my daughter. Sign number 2 is electronics, everything electronic. Because souls are pure energy and electricity is also energy, right? So it is very easy for their souls to manipulate energy to let you know that they are here. So your TV can just suddenly go on, or the radio can jump on and play a certain song, or you will get a message on your phone from your loved one, or people even have had missed calls suddenly from their loved one, but of course there was nobody on the other side of the line. We all know the very famous light bulbs that go on and off. They're usually used in these scary movies on TV, but they just make them extra scary than necessary because there's nothing scary at all if it is your loved one. If you feel that, oh wow, I was just speaking about my father or my brother or my sister or my uncle, and suddenly the lights are going on and off, and you feel this warmth and this connection, then just know it is them. Also, certain songs, they have a very specific meaning. Of course, everybody has certain memories with certain songs and people. So you will pick up on that when you feel that this song is meant for you. You had to hear it. And sometimes what can happen, you're sitting in a restaurant, a song comes up and it reminds you of your loved one. And you will just feel it that, hey, I think it's my loved one visiting me, sending me a sign. Sometimes what can happen is that they will confirm it. So even the second song afterwards, that it was maybe even a better sign. And then you know exactly 100% for sure that yes, that is your loved one visiting you. And sometimes they even also use lyrics. If you, for example, get a song stuck in your head and it is on repeat, and what I want you to do is to make that part that is stuck in your mind, make it conscious, try to realize what the lyrics are or try to Google them, because sometimes there is even a message in those lyrics what gets stuck in your mind out of nowhere. So that is also a way for them to communicate something to you. Sign number 3 is items. And of course, everybody has their own certain personal items, so only you can decide what is meant for you or not. But for example, coins. Suddenly finding very little coins on very unusual places. When you find such a coin, also look at the number that is there because every number has a certain meaning. And also look at the symbol if there's something meant for you. So they also work a lot with coins, but for example, what can happen is also suddenly a book will fall out of a shelf. And once you read maybe the cover of the book or it has turned open on a certain page, there is also a message for you. This happens quite often, actually. And just like I said before, any personal item that just reminds you of them. And in my case, my daughter always loved to put her face full of those little colored diamonds. And once she passed, I started seeing those little colored diamonds everywhere. Even when I went to Spain, I suddenly started encountering all those little diamonds that I thought, how is it possible? Or when I went to a hotel, there was suddenly one laying there in the bathroom that I figured, wow, I don't know how it got there, but I was so overjoyed and happy, and I always take them with me when I find them. Sign number 4, and this is a very common one, is dreams. Because in the dream world, we don't use our logical mind, our thinking brain. So then the brain, the mind is at sleep, and they can connect with our soul way easier. They just have full access to our soul, and we can connect in the higher realm. So once you have a dream where your loved one comes in a most beautiful, glowing, happy, calm, serene way, and they hug you maybe, or they have a message for you, or they tell you something. And sometimes they can even show you something, a piece of heaven, or what they are doing over there. Then know it is real. It is so incredibly real. And I always say that place is more real than this place, right? So what they are showing you is incredibly real, and you will notice it. You will feel that you will wake up in the morning feeling such a sense of relief, and such peace will come over you, and you will feel so happy and warm inside that your loved one has visited you. So sign number 5 is numbers. I call them angel numbers. And numbers have, of course, a mathematical value, but Pythagoras, hundreds years before Christ, has found that numbers is not just a mathematical value, but that there's also a very deeply spiritual meaning connected to each and every number. And he says with his students that every number has a certain frequency and a certain vibration to it, and that the whole universe consists and is built on numbers and number frequencies. So the soul, the spirit world, works with these numbers as well. So maybe your loved one had a favorite number and you suddenly start to see that number all around. Or you start to see certain patterns and you can see them inside the house, outside the house, anywhere you go. You can see these license plates on receipts that you receive, just anywhere. Once you start to pay attention, you will start to notice them more and more. And maybe it's the favorite number from your loved one, and maybe it's a sequence. A very famous one is an 1111 or a 2222. And once you maybe find another pattern, for example, 1543, then what I recommend you to do is to type in on a search engine angel number 1543, because then you will receive the meaning of it, because in every pattern of numbers and every sequence of numbers there is a meaning behind it. And what can also happen is that you suddenly start to hear their name, that wherever you walk, wherever you go, suddenly it feels like this random person, these strangers, are saying the name of your loved one out so loud that you hear it at once. And it's quite a strange feeling sometimes, because you're like, how is it possible that I just walked past and they suddenly say the name of the one that has passed? So know that it's them letting you know that, hey, wherever you go, we are with you, because their soul is always with you, but they're also doing other things. It's the omnipresence of them. So that is why they can be with you, but they are also doing their own thing up there. So what you can also see is that your loved one uses synchronicities. And usually people will say that, hey, that was a coincidence. But like Carl Jung said, is that synchronicities are a meaningful coincidence. So actually they are not really coincidences, because they're personal, they are meaningful, they are meant for you to see, to hear. So your loved one tries to get your attention because he or she sees that you struggle, that you are sad, that you're grieving, and that soul just really wants to help you and comfort you and say that I love you, I didn't go anywhere. And of course they know that you miss their physical presence, right? They really want to let you know that they are still a very active part of your life and that you can always talk to them. So that is how they just try to get your attention through all these different kinds of ways. Look out for those synchronicities, look out for those coincidences that are not a coincidence and that have an actual meaning, because when it reminds you of that loved one, then it was them. So trust that feeling if you want to have a better connection with them and want to receive more messages. What sometimes can help is to start healing. I know grief is really hard, but the more you feel calm instead of an overwhelming sense of pain, the easier it is for you to perceive their messages. And I also would advise to just start talking to them, like out loud, because they can hear you. You can ask for signs, you can tell them what's on your mind, and you will see that they will start to engage with you on a regular basis. And that is beautiful because you get like a co-creating relationship. So it's really worth it and it's really comforting. So I hope you have now learned a few signs that you could receive from your loved one, and I hope it can help you a little bit to feel a sense of comfort. Until the next one, and God bless.